Hey, hello everybody, Deanna Nunez here, and today I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to be able to reprogram your subconscious mind. Welcome, welcome. Have you ever set a goal for yourself where you're so excited and you set that goal, you're motivated, you feel that flood of neurotransmitters that's actually happening in your body. You get that feeling of like, yes, this is it. I'm going for it. And you have that vision for your life and you can see your future if you just complete this goal. And then just a couple of weeks later, sometimes even days, you either sabotage yourself or you lose the motivation to follow through. Has that ever happened to you? Well, I'm sure you said yes, because it's happened to most of us. I have yet to meet someone that is just perfect and totally follows through. And if that person does exist, they're probably fairly robotic. And you don't actually want to have a relationship with that person because we're human and we are full of mistakes and failures and struggles, and that's okay. So what I want to talk with you about today and invite you to participate in is a way to reprogram your subconscious mind to assure, let me repeat that, to assure you always reach your goals. Are you excited about that? Now, really, it comes down to some things that maybe you hadn't thought about. It's not just you. It's not just that you aren't able to be consistent like everybody else seems to be. Or maybe you just are struggling and other people don't struggle like you. I hear this a lot in my work because people come to me for me to help them to bridge that gap, to help them get them to their goals. So hi, I'm Deanna Nunez, and I am a professional hypnotist. I've been a hypnotist for over 20 years, and I've hypnotized well over 100,000 people. And I can tell you that I have had the pleasure of being a witness and a facilitator of really experiencing a person's subconscious mind. Now, when you're in your subconscious mind, you're completely plugged in. You're into that part of your mind. Your mind has a dual effect, and you are plugged into that part of your mind that does not doubt you. You are plugged into that part of mind that is full of imagination and creativity, and it is the hardware, if you will, of your body. Now, just like we have hardware that runs the program of the computer, we have software that goes into it that gives it that specific program. And that's kind of how your subconscious mind works. It will follow any order that you give it. And so think about this for a moment. Many of the orders, we'll put them in air quotes, many of the orders that you've given your subconscious mind are not just from yourself, but also from other people, your parents, your teachers, your pastors, your coaches growing up. And then they became repeated messages in your mind that you then have emotionalized and repeated over and over and over again. Now, that can go both for the positive or the negative. Both are happening. Your subconscious mind doesn't have an opinion of that. But your subconscious mind holds all of this powerful information for you then to repurpose and influence your thinking. Now, so often when we make a goal, we always make it from the conscious mind, first of all, but so often when we make a goal, we have an internal conflict, and I'm going to talk about that more in just a moment. But in this video, I can promise you that if you stick with me long enough, right here to the end, it's not going to be long. If you stick with me to the end, you're going to get all the pieces you need to be able to assure that you can reprogram your subconscious mind and be consistent to your goals so that you can make it to the finish line. So, as you know, I shared with you that I have worked with many, many people using hypnosis. Now, I want to assure you that hypnosis is safe in every way. In fact, you are doing it to yourself over and over and over again all the time without even thinking about it. You've got your mind on autopilot. What I learned when I started using hypnosis for my benefit, and that's what I teach you and I continue to teach all my clients, is to be able to leverage your subconscious mind for your benefit. Now, I've been able to run over 31 marathons, including a few ultra marathons, using this exact methodology that I have created. I took what I've learned about hypnosis and I created my own methodologies. And that's what I'm here to teach you today. Is there's some really specific things that you can do to plug in to the power of your subconscious mind that maybe you're not doing already. So if you want to improve your relationships, if you want to improve your money, your income, you want to improve your health and your fitness, you want to improve your productivity, I can guarantee you that you can use this methodology to get yourself going, to rev up and create that motivation, everything that you need to be able to blow through any obstacles that come your way, because we know there's always obstacles, right? And you need that superpower, that supercharge to be able to blow through those obstacles. And that's what we're going to do here today. So perhaps you want to get a paper and a pencil, pen, and start writing some notes. If not, then you can always check in with me later and send me a message and let's get going on this. This is what I do. I love helping people to reprogram their subconscious mind, and I hope that's you. So let's go with number one. The first thing that you need to know in order to reprogram your subconscious mind is you've got to be able to be willing to have a courageous spirit and explore your subconscious mind. Now, so often people, when they hear that I'm a hypnotist, they kind of go, like, don't look into my eyes, or oh my gosh, you're going to tell you can make me uncover all my deep dark secrets, and that's so not true. But to explore your subconscious mind is often scary to some people. They feel like they're going to open a can of worms or release all these problems. Well, I can tell you that the problems exist already, and your subconscious is influencing your thinking patterns already. So you might notice that there are times that things are triggered in you where you start to feel a lot of self-doubt, or you start to get anxiety. You actually feel sensations in your body. You get those butterflies in your stomach, or your heart palpitating, or you start to already hear the thoughts of, you not believing in yourself, or you can't do that. You get that barrage of voices that seem to just turn up the volume. That's happening anyway. So it behooves you, it is to your benefit to take the opportunity to go in and start exploring what is actually in your subconscious mind. And let me tell you what to look for. You're not going to just go in there aimlessly. What you're going to do is you're going to look for those internal conflicts. Now, here's where most people actually shy away from facing their fears or facing their inner conflicts. That they think that that's going to make them not feel very good. Well, if you're having internal conflicts, they already don't feel good. It already doesn't feel good to not think highly about yourself. It already doesn't feel good to self-doubt. So what you're going to do is you're going to courage is always the bridge. You're going to courageously explore those inner conflicts, because the goal is to shift an inner conflict into an inner belief. Now, you already have a belief around that conflict. It's already happening. It's already like fused and attached to that. But I guarantee you, with these methodologies, you can absolutely detach from the old belief and attach to a new, profound, amazing, exciting belief in yourself that absolutely can exist. Now, those beliefs only created themselves based on your history, based on your life experience. They're not true, but yet so often we give so much truth to these unbeliefs or untruths. That's what I like to call them, as untruths. We give power to our untruths. So you want to be able to go in and explore your subconscious mind and look for those internal conflicts and turn those stones over. I like to think of it as, if there's a bunch of stones that, there's some kind of secret on the back side of that, turn those stones over. Be brave to turn those stones over and really work through them. When you are willing, willingness is a high vibrational emotion. When you are willing to have courage and to really explore those internal conflicts, that's when you have the exact opportunity to change them, to reframe them. One of the tools that I always use in my coaching and in hypnosis, when I have a person that I've put into hypnosis and we're working therapeutically on helping them get to resolve or get to a goal, then we're going to be using the reframe techniques to be able to change a belief right there in real time. And it's an incredible tool. So you can start to change how you view yourself, how you experience an old belief. And if you had a parent that was unkind, or an experience in your childhood that caused you grief, or it caused you discomfort, it caused you any kind of emotional trauma, you're going to want to address those and change those conflicts into beliefs. Now, it's those very conflicts that are influencing you from your subconscious mind to your conscious goals. So if you're wondering, why have I not gotten to where I want to go, even though I put these goals out in front of me? You might be a very motivated person. You might be a person that's A-type personality, or someone who says, hey, I'm an introvert and I have goals that I really want to get to. No matter who you are, if you have sabotaged yourself before, or you have come into conflict before with not getting to the finish line with a goal that you have, then I guarantee you have some type of internal conflict. And we also call those subconscious set points, where as you climb, you just keep hitting that kind of ceiling, right? There's a ceiling as to how far you'll get in your goal achievement process. So that's number one. Number two is to go within. And I think of that as an acronym, GO with N. And GO stands for growth opportunity. When you go inward to look for those growth opportunities, you are going in within with a purpose. Now, I teach a methodology called heart-centered performance. I discovered heart-centered performance because I work with a lot of high achievers. I also work with a lot of budding high achievers, people that they're on their way to becoming high achievers. Maybe that's you. And so often I would hear these high achievers working so hard. They're hustling. They're doing everything they can to create success. But in the back of their minds, they have these saboteurs that are keeping them from really being able to create success, to really be able to get to the goal. They'll create little successes, but they always end up feeling like they're back where they started. Has that ever happened to you? If so, you're going to want to use this methodology of heart-centered performance, and that's where you decide what your values are. What do you value so much in your life that it propels you with purpose and motivation, and there's strength and power in that? When you are working towards a goal for the purpose of proving your worth, proving to a parent, or proving to those bullies back in your childhood, or proving to an ex-wife or an ex-husband, or proving to a boss that fired you that you are exactly what it takes, you're going to do all of that hustling and domination. You'll be like, try to be like this steamroller effect where you're just going to hustle your way through, but you will always be left unfulfilled. There will be that part of you that says, even though I've hustled, even though I've worked my butt off, I still don't feel internal peace. I don't feel that feeling of fulfillment. I don't feel like that love connected to myself. I still feel like something's missing. And that is why we need to connect to our values. When you are in heart-centered performance is all about, I value myself, I value life, I value my clients, I value my health, I value my relationships, my connections, I value the fact that I can make things happen, that I am of human design, I'm designed to create. That is heart-centered performance. There is no proving There is no hustling without purpose. Heart-centered performance is about creating a mind cycle that works in your favor, creating habits that work in your favor and actually get you where you want to go. And they create a narrative in your mind and your cognition. The things that you start saying to yourself are positive. They are belief-oriented. And they also piggyback off of the number one, which was being able to change all of your conflicts into internal beliefs. So that's number two, is to go within and anchor into your values. Now, what I'd love to just share with you for a moment is an amazing opportunity that you have all the time to connect to an internal belief system, to connect to that part of you that does not doubt you. Now, I can tell you I have seen this so many times as I've hypnotized folks across the globe. In fact, in over 25 countries, I've worked with people in hypnosis, and it is amazing how quickly they become connected to their values as soon as they start to go within and they have those growth opportunities for themselves. When you just simply place your hand on your heart, this is heart-centered performance, mindset training. When you put your hand on your heart and you simply start to close your eyes and breathe. I teach infinity breaths, and that's something you can follow along with right now. Just close your eyes down and breathe like the circle 8. So picture the circle 8 and start to breathe rhythms just like that. So all the way in and all the way out. Breathing in deeply all the way in and all the way out. Let me slow down for you. And really just take the time to settle in, to drop your shoulders, to settle into your hips, and get relaxed as you breathe in and breathe out. Now, you can't let go of any conflicts if you don't let something else in its place. That's science, that's behavioral science. And so therefore your very breath shows you that to let go, you must let in. To let go of breath, you must then let in breath. So as you breathe deeply and purposely, taking in those deep, beautiful breaths, connect with yourself by way of focusing on what you value in your life. Notice what pops up first, connecting with what you value in your life. Perhaps there's people in your mind that pop up. You value them. Perhaps it's your Sunday hikes or your walks along the ocean or getting outside to your favorite place. Connecting with what you value. Perhaps what you value is being accepted or being acknowledged. Consider how much you value being able to live and thrive through the money that you create and bring in. And so therefore valuing money positively, not attaching anything else to it, just valuing money positively. And so notice what you notice as you breathe and focus your mind on what you value about your life. Breathing in and breathing out. And if there's any chatter that comes in that doesn't have to do with this, just let it pass on by like clouds. Just pass on by and refocus your mind on what you truly value about your life. Perhaps there's projects that you have really valued, or mentors, your children, fact that you've experienced it has created that value. And there's times that even the things that we didn't want showed us what we value. And therefore they are valuable. And as you focus your mind on these gifts, this gold, these values, notice what it feels like. There might be a temperature, a coolness or a warmth, a feeling. Notice if there's any colors, any visuals, any visions that come up. And take notice of those. These are all your symbols, your guides, if you will. Some of our greatest leaders have shared with us how valuable it is to have your own internal compass, to follow your own vision. And with that, you can create self-belief. You can create habits that align. You can create behaviors that benefit you. And as you tap in and focus on all of those values, know that you have already begun the work of reprogramming your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is reprogrammed with two things: repetition and emotion. And therefore, as you emotionalize these values and come back to this exact same meditation, or I call it high performance hypnosis, where you tap in within and you go within, you create your own growth opportunities. You repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. And use this methodology to reprogram how your mind, your subconscious mind, influences your goals. And so it is. Take in another deep breath all the way in. Breathe in deeply. And slowly, calmly, easily, gently start to open your eyes and come right back to me. Very good. You slowly drop your hand and give yourself a little stretch. Now that's a little sampling of the hypnosis that I do with people. That's just that little bit of taking you from beta, where you're focused on me, into alpha, where you focus inward on yourself. Taking you into that brainwave changes everything. It allows you to tap into 100% self-belief. So if you're wondering how to get out of self-doubt, go within. Now that brings me right to our third point, our third and final point of this particular short presentation of reprogramming your subconscious mind. Now, I promised you in the beginning that I would give you all the tools you need to reprogram your subconscious mind. And that's exactly what we are doing here. We're blowing through any internal conflicts that you might have picked up along your way, along your life's journey, teaching you how to be courageous and really focus on showing up to those fears, showing up to those conflicts, because I guarantee they're there. If you are one to sabotage your efforts or lose motivation, that internal conflict, you deserve to go meet it where it's at and change that conflict into a belief. Now you do that by really starting to create that heart-centered performance where you're coming from a place of valuing yourself, valuing the fact that you are here, and you have a purpose in this life, and that you matter. What you do matters. It does have a ripple effect on your life and on the people around you. So our third and final point today is all about habitizing. Now, if you have experienced hypnosis with me, like if you just went and did that session with me, that short little session, then you might have already heard me talk about repetition. The subconscious mind loves repetition. And think about it, it's that autopilot part of your mind. And so therefore, anything that you repeat becomes habit. That includes thinking habits. Now, so often people are so focused on what they're doing externally versus who they are being on the inside. And my work would tell you to focus on who you're being, not just what you are doing in your life. You want to habitize your thought process. You want to habitize who you are being. That habitization will change everything in your subconscious mind. Now, in order to habitize, you want to also emotionalize your habits. You want to sell yourself on yourself every single day. Now, to habitize, the easiest way to do that is to focus on one amazing habit at a time. Now, one amazing habit, how are you going to come up with just one when you know that you have several that you probably need to be doing in order to get you to your goals? Now, let me just backtrack for a moment. In order to get to a goal, it's not just about setting the goal. That's one part of it. And goals are so good because goals really kind of force you. They are the power behind getting you up and moving. A goal forces you to pull yourself together, to start to make some bullet points and go, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. And it starts to get your visioning process happening. It gets you excited, right, about your life and what you can create. When we don't have progress happening in our life, you'll start to feel very humdrum. And lately, with all that's been happening in our world, a lot of that has probably taken place in your life. Things start to feel very, very boring and vanilla when you haven't made progress in your life. We are designed to make progress. That's who we are as human beings. We're designed to create. And when we aren't doing that, then we feel like we've got no fuel, we've got no gas. And when that becomes habitized, where we just kind of are like on status quo and that becomes habit, you'll wonder, what happened to my life? What am I doing? Where did all my motivation go? So habitization is a very important part of reprogramming your subconscious mind. So pay attention to your thinking habits. That's where you want to start. What have you been thinking about lately? What's taking up space in your mind? Have you been focused on, I'm not doing anything, I'm not making progress? Well, if so, that is a very negative affirmation, and your mind will do whatever you focus it on. So if you're focusing it on what's not happening, you just get more of what's not happening. See what I'm saying there? So you want to change the habitization of your thoughts. Start to allow new ideas to ruminate in your mind. And anytime that you catch yourself having a thought that does not align with your goals, it's your opportunity right then to just stop, to pause. I call it power pause, because it literally is like you have come to an intersection and you now know the way. You're not just aimlessly driving. You now know the way and you're like, oh, we got to make a right turn right here. So when you are habitizing your thoughts, you're catching yourself in the middle of having a negative thought, or you're catching yourself with a thought that's a residual of an old internal conflict that you're working out. And you can right then just take that power pause and you can reframe how you are thinking to yourself. Now, we know that you don't just change a thought and all of a sudden you magically like make more money or create this, person of your dreams, or improve all your relationships, or whatever it is, like have a brand new house. It's not just with one thought, but it's with all of them added up, because the more you think about in a positive way where you're headed and the progress you're making, then it is creating like an environment inside your subconscious mind of, this is who I am, this is who I be. And therefore you will see that your external habits, what you do, will then change, because some of your old habits will just automatically fall off. They're no longer good enough. You'll recognize that your old habits that were not necessarily benefiting you, you'll recognize them as those things are not going to take me to my goal. And you will notice how powerful you start to become. You'll notice your own self-belief growing, and your internal habitization of your thoughts creates the external, I'm going to do this differently. You'll have a different kind of motivation. So those are the 3 ways that just today you can reprogram your subconscious mind. So let me just summarize once again. Number 1, exploring your internal conflicts is everything. If you just keep going about your life as if that old stuff didn't exist, any kind of old traumas or emotional conflicts that you didn't quite work out or that you have suppressed, I guarantee you they are influencing you from your subconscious mind to your conscious goals. So you want to clear those out. Number 2, go within to do that and focus your mind on heart-centered performance. Don't just hustle with no purpose. You're just going to get tired. You're going to burn yourself out. So you want to be able to have heart-centered performance. You are not in this with your life to prove to somebody else how great you are, or to prove your worth, or to prove that if you get to that goal, then look at me, like I have become more than you thought that I would have become. You know, that kind of motivation, it gets you going, but it actually doesn't make you feel good about yourself. All of that proving. So heart-centered performance redirects you back to your own value system and what means something to you. And you're working from a place of self-value. That's number 2. Number 3 is all about habitizing all of this. Your subconscious mind loves repetition, and it loves it being excited and having emotion. You've got to have a change of state. You need your state of being to be uplifted, to be inspired, to be motivated. When you feel that energy, you're literally releasing neurotransmitters that help you to feel good in your body, and you change your state of being. So those powerful 3 ways will absolutely reprogram your subconscious mind. Now it's your opportunity to get to work. Get to work on those things. Now, what's at stake? What's at stake if you don't? If you just stay at status quo, I promise you that your health is at stake. We are not meant to have chronic anxiety. We are not meant to have chronic stress. We were not designed that way. We were designed, when we were cave people, is like when there's the lion or when there's the tiger, then we have that stress and it gets us motivated and moving. But we now live in modern times, and there are so many stress factors that are just happening in our environment on the constant. And if you really think about it, our entire world is like a big subconscious mind, where the influences of our society, of our culture, of our family, all of those things have an influence on your thinking and on your decision making. So you really want to be able to take charge here, because what's at stake is your health. What's at stake is your financial freedom, being able to really have freedom and prosperity to do the things that you want to do, to offer opportunities to your family, to yourself, to truly experience life. You need to be able to fund that, right? And so make money be a positive thing in your life. What's at stake is your relationships. If you have internal conflicts that keep getting in the way of you having a healthy relationship, then that's going to definitely affect your happiness. So there's a lot at stake here if you don't make this change, if you don't reprogram your subconscious mind. So I hope you have enjoyed this content that I have provided you today. This work is so meaningful to me. I started this work way back 20 years ago. It's actually been more than that. It's 1998 that I first started into hypnotherapy school and started studying the subconscious mind. And what motivated me was my own conflicts, my own dysfunctional experiences of life. And I knew that I was blaming a lot of people for why I hadn't gotten farther in my life, and I realized along the way that I needed to take a look at myself. And as I did that, I started to gain tools, and I became so enamored with the power of the subconscious mind that I've been teaching it ever since and facilitating a process for people. So one of my methodologies that I use in my work is a process that absolutely works 100% of the time. And pay attention to this, because there's 3 blocks. It is 3 keys to it, I should say: reveal, release, and recode. When you're working with the subconscious mind, it can be very elusive, and you don't have the ability to connect the dots as to why you're doing what you're doing over and over again and sabotaging yourself. And so I created this methodology to first just reveal, help you to really have a true understanding of what that root cause is. So revealing is a big part of breaking through an internal conflict. The second part is releasing it. We have to release it and replace it with something else. If you don't release it, then you're just going to have continued suppressed emotional conflicts and suppressed psychological constructs. Like you're in your own little prison and the door is open, but you're not walking out of it. This happens all the time, and the people that come to see me are professionals. They're, attorneys, real estate professionals, salespeople, they're executives, they're athletes, they're people that, like you and me, professionals that are really doing well in the world, but yet they still have these things that hold them back. And it's okay. It's part of the human struggle. We don't have to struggle continuously. The fastest way to end a struggle is to make a decision. So make that decision to really work on reprogramming your subconscious mind. The third way that I help people is to then recode. That's all about the reprogramming part. So we reveal, release, and we recode. So if you're interested in learning more, I have a resource for you. First, go to my website at vitalmindcoach.com. That's vital, V-I-T-A-L, mindcoach.com. Right there on the homepage, you will see a resource. It's a workbook. It's a 31-page ebook that you can actually download for free. It's my freebie that I'm offering you to reprogram your subconscious mind. You will find some of the things that I've talked about today right there in workbook form. So if I went too quick for you today, you can easily go there and download that Reprogram Your Mind workbook and get to work on yourself. You can also reach out to me. This is the work that I do. I work with people one-on-one. I also work with teams. And so if you are looking to really make some headway and to get to your goals and to get to the finish line, to be consistent and feel the goodness of what it is like to thrive, then reach out to me and let's get going. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me today. I hope that you found value in this experience with me today, and I look forward to the next time. I started these videos to then be able to put them on my YouTube, and you'll see it there if you want to watch it again. And follow me over there at Deanna Nunez Now on YouTube, or you can follow me right here on my Facebook page. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And until the next time, use courage to reach all of your goals. Bye-bye.